Welcome to Microknowledge Learning Emporium, a virtual immersive environment. I'm going to show you in this video segment several things. Our goal, learn to be more engaged in an immersive environment. How are we going to do that? We are going to do that by being engaged by using gestures, positioning in the immersive environment, and navigating in the immersive environment or the meeting space. These three things will help us reach our goal of being more engaged in an immersive environment. Automatically, there's already more engagement. There's more engagement simply because if you are using a WebEx or a Skype call to have a meeting, then there's so much opportunity to just check out. Click mute, go do something else, listen for your name, half listen for your name, knowing you're not going to be called for 10 more minutes, 15 more minutes. It's a little bit harder to do that in the immersive environment. More so if you know there's going to be engagement as though you were face to face. So let's start with gestures. We have the opportunity in an immersive environment to act as though we were real. If I wanted to say how happy I was for you, or I was glad that something occurred, then I could clap. I can give you the big wink. All right, good job. I can smile and nod. I can tell you I don't know. I can point. I can give you a fist pump. All of those gestures are things that would make you say, all right, well, Lisa gets it. Lisa's engaged. In order to use those gestures, in this particular instance, I had to create shortcuts. But there are a bunch of different gestures under the COM menu, so I'm clicking COM and I'm going to gestures. So if you wanted to use gestures in the environment and you didn't have keyboard shortcuts, then so we can use these gestures. If there were gestures you weren't aware of, for example, angry, you can click on a gesture you can play. If you wanted to cry, hopefully you're not crying in any meetings, you could click in the chat area and type the chat option. So you can see that the gestures help you be more engaged, show emotion, face-to-face contact. Another option in the immersive environment to show that you're engaged is how you position yourself in the immersive environment. For example, right now I'm facing you, but I have the opportunity to see what you are looking at as well. So that's what you're looking at, possibly. But sometimes I want a bird's eye view. So if I choose the rear view, I'm actually seeing all of you. And then I can change my camera. So I can orbit and move around to get a different perspective. I can also move more to the right or move more to the left, and this is simply using my camera view as to what I might see. I can zoom out, I can zoom in. Now sometimes when I do that, you can see it's changing perspective, so I might have to use my camera to kind of get me to the point where I want to be seen for myself. So when I'm doing something like in a meeting or I'm presenting, sometimes I position myself like so, where in this case, this is my head and I'm actually seeing everyone else, and this gives me the opportunity to see how they're engaging. Or sometimes I really do want to check out what I'm doing, so I might do something like this, where I'm actually seeing myself, how I'm positioned, so that if I were presenting in this immersive environment, I can see where things look, how things look, what you're seeing if you're looking up front at the presentation. So positioning and using that camera is a key option. Last but not least is navigating in the virtual environment. You know, in order to walk up to that projector or in order to get closer to you, I have the opportunity to move. And I'll walk, and I'm just going to use my arrow keys. I'm facing you, so I'm going to use an up arrow to move forward. Now, technically, that's moving backwards. So in facing you, there is something I have to keep looking at. If I'm going this way, my up arrow moves forward, and then this moves backwards. I'm going to go back and face you again. If I wanted to change that, I'm turning around, so I'll move this up a little bit so you can see. I'm in fact tapping my right arrow, which turns me to the right. And I do have to keep positioning every once in a while my camera to kind of get a bird's eye view. Maybe I'll zoom out a little bit more. I'm moving to the right. I'm moving to the left. I'm walking forward, which is my up arrow. I'm turning around. I'm walking backwards, walking forward. So I'm walking forward. And it takes a little bit of practice to navigate at that option as well, but soon enough you'll be doing it like a pro. I hope you enjoyed this video segment, and I look forward to seeing you in either your virtual environment or ours. Thanks again for joining me in Microknowledge Learning Emporium.